So I got up this morning and I got on Facebook and I saw a post that said thoughts and prayers for Maine. So I was like, what happened in Maine? So I Googled it, and apparently there was a mass shooting in Lewington, Maine last night. And there were 16 people killed. At least 16 people, it said. And the article I read said that this made mass shooting number 565 in America this year alone. When I read that, I was just like, how does God put up with us? God wiped out Sodom and Gomorrah for sexual perversion. The only scene that we see in Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible was when two angels disguised as men went to Sodom and Gomorrah to try to find anyone righteous. They found Lot and his family. No one else. So God decided to destroy the whole entire two towns. Then God flooded the whole entire earth because of how wicked that generation was. And I cannot imagine that there has ever been a more wicked generation than ours. 565 mass murders in one country in 1 year. Not to even mention what's going on in Israel right now. Freaking Hamas terrorists trying to wipe an entire race of people off the face of the planet. And then Hamas is getting worldwide support for their genocide. And the Jews are God's chosen people. And I just keep watching the news, waiting for a supernatural destruction of Hamas. Which I don't know why, because God always used the Jews to wipe out the Jews' enemies. But it would be very satisfying to see something supernatural to happen to Hamas. Not to mention also the sex trafficking children, trying to normalize pedophilia. Same-sex couples and transgenderism, which doesn't affect me, and but I know it saddens God. But from a human standpoint, those two would definitely be the least important. But sex trafficking people, especially children, pedophilia, how have we gotten to the point where we're trying to normalize this? How have we gotten to a point where there is literally a flag for pedophiles, or as they want to be called, minor attracted people, MAPS, whatever, you're a pedophile. I ask God to open my spiritual eyes, to give me eyes to see and ears to hear. And He did. Our world is a wicked, cruel, evil place. And I fear for those of y'all that don't believe in Jesus, because I know He's coming back soon. He has to. He has to come back soon. Otherwise, He would owe Sodom and Gomorrah an apology. He would owe the whole world, like, what, 4,000 years ago, an apology. Because I cannot believe the Sodom and Gomorrah, or even the whole freaking world combined back then, could be anywhere near as evil as our generation is now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see how it could be humanly possible to be more evil than this world is right now. So my prayers go out for the family of the 16 people who died last night, and to the families of everyone who has lost someone in a mass shooting this year. My prayers go out to the nearly about 1,300 people who have been killed in Israel right now. My prayers go out to the Palestinians who are caught in the middle of the war between Hamas and Israel. I don't know if Hamas came. I know Hamas is the government of Palestine, which I don't know. I don't know if they elected Hamas or if Hamas just took over. Hamas being a terror organization, Palestine practically defenseless, it wouldn't surprise me to find out they took over. They forced their way in charge. And if that is the case, then my prayers are with the people in Palestine too. And yes, I know Palestine is Israel. Israel is Palestine. It's the same freaking area. Two different people fighting over the land. I believe the land belongs to the Israelites because I believe in God. And the Bible says that God gave that land to Israel. And then also Israel has won many freaking wars over that land. And that's how wars have worked throughout all of human history. Anytime there's a war, the winner takes land from the losers. I guess it's actually time for a history lesson for those of you that don't know the history of Israel. Before World War One, the Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire. It was not its own country, but it was a place that existed right there where Israel is at now. Well, the Ottoman Empire joined on the side of Germany. And, you know, the Axis powers lost the World War One. So Great Britain took Palestine from the Ottoman Empire. Well, after World War II, the Allied powers, I guess, formed the United Nations. The United Nations gave the land of Palestine to the Israelites. They tried to come up with a two states there in the Palestinian Israel area. But the Palestinians refused. But Jews moved in anyways, because it's their holy land. And then the Israelites won the 6-Day War, the Yom Kippur War, and the First and Second Palestinian Intifada. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. But, so by all rights, the land of Israel belonged to the Israelites. But I do still feel for the Palestinians that are there in Gaza, stuck in between the war between Hamas and Israel. Assuming they don't support Hamas's terrorism. My prayers are with the innocent Palestinians. I do think it is ridiculous, though, that we are calling it a war crime, that Israel is not giving food, water, and electricity to Gaza. They're at war with Hamas, who's in Gaza. Hamas is the government of Gaza. It is Hamas's job to provide for their people. If you're going to be the government of Gaza, you need to provide for your people. So the war crime that of Gaza not having food, electricity, and water is on Hamas. It is not on the Israelites, because no other country in the freaking world has ever given resources to a country they were at war with. Like, I live in America. America has had a war with probably just about every freaking country in the world at some point in time besides Israel. We didn't provide resources to those countries. Sometimes America needs to just keep her freaking nose out of other people's business. But when we were at war in World War One and World War Two, we didn't give freaking food, water, electricity to Germany or Japan. We didn't give freaking in Afghanistan. We didn't give food, water, electricity to Japan, Afghanistan, North Korea. So why do we expect the Israelites to give food, water, and electricity to the Gazans when they're at war with the authority of Gaza? How is that a war crime? What is I don't know if it'd be a war crime because Hamas is not at war with Gaza, I guess. But it definitely would be a human rights violation to not provide food, water, and electricity to your own people. And then digging up the water pipes that Israel did give to Gaza during times of peace to use to make a missile. Or make multiple missiles. But yeah, let's villainize Israel, because Israel has been giving food, water, electricity to Gaza, and now that they're at war with Gaza, they're not doing so anymore. Well, yeah. Like, if America went to war with one of our allies that, heck, I don't even know if freaking America makes anything anymore. What do we export? We import just about everything. But if we went to war, we wouldn't provide for who we're at war with. It's completely ridiculous to expect. I know the video was all over the place. But I'm just speaking on all the evils in the world that I see. Maranatha. For those of you who doesn't know what it means